Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're on the Slide Modified YouTube channel. My name is Andrew Garza, also known as E36 1JZ on Instagram. And today we are going to be getting back into the 1JZ E36 build. So in the last video you guys saw, I disassembled the motor and took it to the machine shop. So now in this video what we're going to do is we are going to be, of course communicating with the machine shop, and I got to get him some parts. I think he's doing all the hot tanking and the cleaning right now, and then he's going to have me get him the bearings and the rings and stuff like that. But in this video, mainly I'm going to be working on cleaning the parts and getting them ready. That way, when the engine comes back, we can immediately jump into assembly. So let me show you what I got, and let me show you what we're going to be doing. Oh, and we also got some parts in the mail, so maybe we'll open some of those up. Guys, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't amazed. This gasket kit right here, I got off of eBay, and it came from Dubai. It came from Dubai in like 3 days. I only ordered this like a couple days ago. This is insane. This is insane. So I don't know how they do that, but props to DHL Express. I don't know. I'm like stoked. So we have the head gasket, we have the intake manifold gasket, we have the valve cover gasket. It looks like we have the turbo exhaust gasket, the water pump gasket, the valve seals, front and rear main, what else? Cam seals, exhaust gaskets. We have all the OEM crush washers, all the OEM valve cover grommets. Oh my god, I have no idea what all the rest of this stuff is. I hope there's a VVTi gear seal in here. Oh my god, this is awesome, guys. So I highly recommend it. I got it on eBay for like, I think it came out to almost 400 bucks shipped from Dubai in 3 days, may I add. Again, I did get an ECU. This ECU is actually an immobilized ECU, but I guess there's a company out there that that undoes them. It says right here, B engineering, do not remove. So the cool thing about this is, I bought it from a guy, but he said, hey man, I'll sell you real cheap, I don't have a case for it. So he sent it to me without a case, and then I was like, you know what, I think I can find a case. So I found someone selling a 2JZ GE ECU from 2001, and the case looked exactly the same. They all have these immobilizer holes. Some are covered, some aren't. So I found one with an immobilizer, gave me a good deal on it, and I pretty much took the ECU out, threw it away, and put this in there. So we got this, and then this bag we got ARP head studs, and then this box right here, shout out to the Dubai boys again, they did it. Another 4-day shipping. This right here, brand new factory 2JZ GTE oil pump. I don't know how they do it, I don't know where they get this shit from, I don't know why it's so cheap. Well, it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than what they sell it in here in the States. So we got that. We just got this too in the mail right now. Damn, homeboy wrapped this up good. This right here is a 1JZ MAF. Looks like it needs a good old cleaning, but he hooked this up. Sent this to me from Florida. Thanks, Alex. Now we have all these parts. I'm just gonna keep them in the boxes just so they don't get damaged. Now comes the shitty part. We are going to clean all this cast aluminum, whatever this is, and there's a lot of it. The whole turbo setups right here. We have the stock J pipe and the turbo outlet and all that. You can see it's really dirty. So me, I'm not much of a fan of painted things, so I'm gonna try to go over all this with the wire wheel and see how it looks. And you may be asking me, hey, why don't you just do like the J-pipe to the... I don't really want to, because I want this to actually look OEM. I don't know if I ever told you guys, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was in my i300 and I got pulled over in a parking lot. He accused me of doing something I didn't do, so, but anyways, it was just an excuse for him to go over and pop my hood and see what's going on. He popped my hood, And the only thing he asked me was, hey, is your intake legal? But he didn't even notice that the freaking turbo was down there because A, there was a heat shield here, and B, it didn't, you know, usually you can see it on top, the big turbo. But that is the only reason why I want to keep this stock looking, because it's going on my daily. And I really don't want to draw too much attention to myself. I just want, you know, to have a nice little reliable swap that I could drive, and it still scoots. We're going to use the stock turbo, but we bought a different center section on eBay. It was a couple $100, so that should be here in the mail. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to pretty much disassemble this intake manifold. We're going to take everything off. We might put the bolts back in so that way we don't forget where they go. But everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I might take a picture of it just so I can remember where everything is at. We'll clean and polish the fuel rail up. Pull the injectors out because luckily we got the new gaskets. Now I can pull those out. But just a few things that need to be, you know, replaced and looked at. So we're going to take all this off. We're actually going to wire wheel this whole thing and see if we can clean it up. Okay, I probably spent about 45 minutes on the intake manifold with the wire wheel, and it's looking a lot better. I still didn't get the sides that well, but as you can see, the top is looking good, and that is just with a wire wheel and some cleaning, of course. So this is kind of what they used to look like. They're all dirty and freaking dull. Some of it has like some pitting and stuff like that. So we're gonna strip this J-pipe down. We're gonna strip this turbo outlet down with the wire wheel, and we'll see if we can get it looking like that. Hopefully the goal is to get everything looking like nice and clean, not like super shiny, and that way we don't have to paint it. So it's looking good so far. And then this is where the injectors go in. This is the lower intake. So we're gonna finish cleaning that up, and then we're gonna hit all this with the wire wheel. YouTube family, what's up? I feel like I do an introduction every time I turn the camera on. These videos I make over numerous days. Probably it takes me 5-10 days to make a video, since I don't have a lot of time when I work and the dryer's on. So sorry, but this is where I'm at. So the goal while the engine's at the machine shop is to clean everything, right? So I cleaned everything. I mean, not everything, but most of the stuff. So let me go over what I did clean. I really love aluminum. Everybody paints it. I don't really like painting aluminum because aluminum is a beautiful metal. So I just took a wire wheel and I kind of just cleaned it. And if you know how to use a wire wheel properly, you can clean it and then you can kind of polish it with the wire wheel. So, I mean, it ain't like shiny, but this is exactly what I want, and it's clean, you know? So, you know, once there gets dust or dirt on it, I could just wipe it off because it's already clean. Here's the J-pipe. Freaking turned out killer. You can see there's a few of my grease print marks on there. I'm gonna have to wipe those off. My buddy came over and he wanted to help, and I'm like, shit, you wanna help? Clean this up. This is what holds the fuel rail and injectors, which I haven't cleaned yet. I'm going to do that next because I got brand new O-rings for the injectors, so I'm gonna clean those up. Then, me and Robert kinda got off on a tangent here. We started sanding and polishing these valve covers. So I started the time lapse, but then it just got too long and I was just like, screw it, I'll just show them when I'm done. So it ain't perfect, but if I keep polishing it, all these little tiny scratches will come out. That's just because I skipped too many stages in the sandpaper phase. So what I did originally, since there was a lot of pitting and corrosion on here, I started with 40 grit, sanded the crap out of everything until it was all clean but super scratched up. Then I went to 80 grit, then I went to 120 grit, then I went to 180 grit, then I went to 200 grit, and then I jumped from 200 to 800, and then I just kind of sanded it as best as I could. And then I took my favorite Mother's Mag aluminum polish, this stuff right here, take this stuff and you just freaking polish away. Turned out pretty good, a lot better than I thought. I'm going to do a little bit more polishing on that, but dude, my fucking arm is sore. So right now, the goal is I'm gonna pull these injectors out, clean them up pretty nicely. See, this one has a bunch of gunk on it. I'm gonna clean that up, clean the rail up, and then after that, we're gonna bolt the rail back to the inner intake. So this is an aluminum fuel rail. So you see it's got some pitting and some oxidation on there. I already wiped it down with brake cleaner. We're just gonna hit it with the wire wheel, kind of get the surface level, And then we'll do a little bit of polishing on that, nothing too crazy. Here, this is the turbo manifold heat shield. I bought this on eBay because I didn't have it. And it was pitted a lot too. As you can see, there's still a few tiny pit marks in there, but I sanded it all down. Now, I just gotta get all the sand marks out. I gotta get the surface even. And then I could do a slight polish on that. So now, as you can see, the surface is just about flat. You can still see the pitting in there, but it's just a fuel rail, so I'm not going to spend my whole life sanding. I have a used piece of 320 right here. Hit it with 320, get some of the heavier scratches out, and then I'll wet sand it. This is 800. I'll wet sand it with 800, and then I'll just do a quick polish on it. Christ, it's windy outside. I got to pull my 180 out from under the tent just in case the tent takes off. I don't want it to hit my car again. Yeah, again. It hit my car before. So, anyways, the fuel rail is now polished. So as I showed you guys, we just sanded it down with 120, 320, and then 800. And then I just polished it. What we're working on now is we got the injectors right here. They pulled all the old O-rings off. And I'm going to put these new O-rings on. Throw them back in the fuel rail. And then throw them back on, I don't know what it's called, like the inner intake. And Missy's very scared of the wind. I know. Man, oh man, check this out. Here's everything. We have intake. I didn't polish this stuff. I just hit it with a wire wheel, like really good. I actually did polish this. This is going to be the turbo heat shield. Polish that up real nice. Can't get enough of that. Check out the reflection. Look. And then this is the turbo outlet pipe. Hit that with a wire wheel real good. And then the throttle body, I hit as much as I could with a wire wheel, just like the parts you're gonna see. And then the actual neck, I tried my best to polish. I still got more work to do on that, but that's good. The J pipe and the blow-off valve, hit both of those with the wire wheel really good. No polishing. I should probably throw these up here too. These aren't completely done yet either, but they look great. Dude, that thing is gonna freaking fly away. Holy cow. I had that thing mounted down good, but wow. This is all the main parts of the motor. Done. Up next, we are going to be working on the turbo assembly. The 1JZ VVTi is a single turbo bottom mount, and it has an integrated wastegate with an actuator right here. So I think this puppy opens at like 10 pounds or something like that. And then also we had got this center section that is going to be able to make more boost. These things are supposed to be rated to about 25 pounds of boost. I got this on eBay. It cost me 200 bucks. And there's really good reviews on it. So right now we're just going to take all of this apart. As you can see, it's already mostly apart. I just have to pull these bolts out. I got to pull this elbow off, and then there's a clamp right here that separates the exhaust side. And then there's a, looks like a huge like C-clip that you can pull the compressor housing off of the center section. That way we can clean this up, and we can paint it all. And I have some heat resistant paint that we're going to be spraying it down with. So now we're just going to disassemble everything, and we're going to lay it all out on this table. We will just let that dry for maybe about 20 minutes, and then we'll just set it somewhere else so I can paint the next thing. While this is drying, I'm also going to take the wire wheel and I'm going to clean the exhaust side of the turbo. That way, by the time we're done cleaning that, we could probably just take this and move it somewhere else, and then we could paint that as well. Got everything painted. I got the aluminum cleaned off some of the bolts. I do have one more piece out there drying still, but I can put that on last. It's no big deal. So here we are with everything, and I can start the reassembly. The only problem I saw here was this gasket right here. Of course, doesn't come in my kit. I was kind of wondering why my kit came with two of the same freaking gaskets, and it's the wrong size. But this one right here is the right size. I think they just gave me two on accident. I don't really know, man. Kind of bummed about that. So gotta find one right there. I guess we could just order it online, but for now we just cannot put the turbo on the actual manifold. I mean, we can put it there, we'll put the bolts there, we don't have the gasket for it yet. And as for these, I might get the rear sump kit for this, so I'll just put them on without the gaskets, and just so I can have everything back together. But yeah, we're gonna start reassembly. That was pretty satisfying going back together. So I just put everything on loosely because I'm gonna go back in and put all the gaskets in later. But this is exactly what I'm talking about when, you know, kind of get everything ready while the motor's at the machine shop, because now I really don't have to worry about cleaning. I don't have to worry about anything. I just mainly just have to get the correct gasket for right here, and then just put all the other gaskets in, and that's it. Oh yeah, here's the other part I was painting. I told myself I was not going to paint any aluminum during this project, but this thing, first of all, you're not going to see, and I wanted it to kind of be low-key. The whole turbo thing, I wanted it to be low-key, so it's all black. I am going to have this heat shield right on top of everything, so it's going to be super low-key. Super low-key. So it's all polished up, and then everything under it's all black, chilling. Got the brand new spinny boy in there. Water lines on. I'll probably stick with those, but I do got to get a new turbo drain. Most importantly, it's all coming together. Okay guys, so I talked to the guy at the machine shop. He said, you know what, it's better off if you get the rings and the bearings. He basically said he doesn't trust his guy to get parts for like a Japanese motor because they don't really know a lot about them. So he said it'd just be better off if you get the parts. So I said no problem. So I went out and got some OEM 1JZ Toyota rings, which were very expensive. And then I have, I believe these are the rod bearings, and then these are the main bearings, and then these are the thresh washers. And hopefully he'll let me go back there and check out my motor so I could get some footage. But anyways, headed out there right now. Back here at the machine shop, we got the block decked, the cylinders are honed. Right now he's got the crank in there, he's gonna polish it up, and then he's gonna start assembly. He's gonna put the rings on, and then he has valve stem seals that we're gonna put in the head. So next step should be done, ready for pickup.